Thank you. The governor's mentioned that the similarity between this bill and the E-SPLOS and General SPLOS, which we are familiar with, which voters time and time again vote into being because they know it's good and they can see the project list. They know there's an ending date. But I'd just like to speak to the issue of how this affects the rural part of the state, which I have 9 rural counties. They can individually decide in their county what is important to them in terms of transportation, like they do in the E-SPLOS, whether it's a developmental highway or whether it's paving a dirt road or resurfacing a road. When those citizens in that county can come together and vote, they're much more likely to vote for that bill or for that measure rather than voting for something that they know nothing about, that may be several counties away. So I'm encouraged by the Senate action and believe it's the right thing. And at the end of the day, it is the legislation that will pass the voter.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. The measure that passed today was a bipartisan effort. As you saw by the vote total, this is not Republican or Democrat. It is not rural or urban. This is a across-the-board approach that seems to garner the support of just about every senator in Georgia. And I think that what we're clearly trying to articulate here is that both the House and Senate care about solving the transportation plan. There's no discrepancy there. We are all in this boat together. We understand how important it is to pass this measure. The plan that we're putting forward recognizes that people in local areas know best how to solve their transportation problems. I mean, we have to remember we live in the largest state east of the Mississippi land-wise. What is good for one community in South Georgia may be completely different for another community in North Georgia. And that's why a regional approach would work, because people in their own communities can determine what are their traffic problems, what are their economic development issues, and they can solve that through a regional SPLOST. A statewide plan is something that of course has, it sounds great, and it's something that we all want to make sure we're doing the best for the entire state of Georgia. But just like so many other issues that we talk about, one size does not fit all. In this particular case, the same transportation plan statewide probably doesn't work as well. What we'd like to see is let local communities determine what is best, what their needs are, and how best to solve those needs through a local T-SPLOST.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Today was a great day for transportation in the Senate. As you see, the Senate again takes leadership in pushing transportation to the forefront. I'd say the main reason of that is because of our Lieutenant Governor, the President of the Senate, Cagle. This has been a priority of his from day one of the session, and that was my task as the chairman of the Senate Transportation Committee to make sure we get that bill underway. It's a good bill. It is, as the others have said, bipartisan, but I think also you need to understand the local control. Not only is this about roads and bridges, this is about all sorts of transportation issues, whether it's an airport in an area or rail or transit. This is so that the local community can decide what is best for them, and that is on the list and they vote for it. So local control is the key to this, and I think the people of Georgia will vote for something on the ballot that shows that them controlling the issue.
And I would add one last thing, that around the country where you've seen these types of measures, it has been embraced very widely, and I think it's because the voters ultimately know what it is they're getting at the end of the day, and I think that's a component in which we have to continue to be consistent with. Now, is this going to solve all of our transportation problems statewide? Absolutely not, but it is a tool in the toolbox that will be very meaningful, not only to the region, but to the entire state. Many people want to say, well, we want a statewide solution. Well, I would submit to you that we can have a statewide solution through the T-SPLOST concept. And if you look at the various chambers across the state, they have all indicated that this is the right solution at the right time. It is sunsetted, so the accountability does exist, and we're very excited to offer this as a meaningful solution to transportation concerns.